So for quarter 2 module number 6, just 4 weeks, 5 to 6. For module 6 is simplify radical expressions. So first, before tayo mag-simplify ng mga radical expressions, i-try muna natin i-memorize yung mga perfect squares. Yung 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 raised to 2 is 4, 3 raised to 2 is 9. This means 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 16, 5 times 5, 25, 6 times 6, 36, 7 times 7, 49, 8 times 8, 64, 9 times 9, 81, 10 raised to 2 is 100. And yung mga prime numbers. Yung mga prime numbers, yung mga numbers na meron ng dalawang factors. Yung number na mismo po na yun at saka 1. So you have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. Yung factors niya is 1 and itself. So yan muna yung alamin natin. So try to memorize yung mga perfect squares and then prime numbers. And then we will move on with perfect cube, yung mga 3 times 3 times 3, yung mga numbers na may exponent na 3, numbers na may exponent na 4, 5, and 6, and so on. So let's say for number 1, well, this is an example na wala doon sa module natin. So magbibigay tayo ng mas madali para mas maintindihan ng iba. So yung una natin gagawin is magbibigay tayo ng simpleng radical expression lang. Let's say square root of 4. So ano yung square root of 4? So kung titignan natin yung 4, nandun siya sa mga perfect square. So ibig sabihin merong answer yung square root of 4. Yung square root ng 4 is 2. So bakit 2? Kasi yung 2 yung multiply mo sa sarili niya para makuha mo yung 4. So pag dinalawa mo yung 2 times 2, you'll get 4. So yung 2 yung number na pag multiply mo sa sarili niya, makukuha mo yung 4. Another example is the square root of, let's say, 9. So ano yung number kapag multiply mo ng dalawang beses sa sarili niya, makukuha mo yung 9? And that is 3. Kasi 3 times 3, you'll get 9, tama? So 3 yung multiply mo ng dalawang beses para makuha mo yung radical na 9. So 3 yung answer natin. 4 square root of 9. So 4 will be 2. Ano yung square root ng 25? Ano yung number na pag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, makukuha mo yung 25? That is 5. Number 4. 121. So ano yung number na pag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, makukuha mo yung 121. That is 11. So probably nakuha nyo na idea pa paano kinukuha yung mga square root ng perfect square. So dito, pag kinuha ko yung square root ng 1, square root of 1 is equal to 1. Square root of 4, that is equal to 2. Square root of 9, that is 3. Square root of 16, that will be 4. Square root of 25, square root of 25, it will be 5. Square root of 36. Square root of 36, that will be 6. Square root of 49. Anong number na pag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, makukuha mo yung 49? That is 7. And then square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 81 is 9. And then square root of 100 is 10. So, hinahanap mo lang yung number na minultiply mo sa sarili niya para makuha yung radical. So, dito, ano yung number na minultiply mo sa sarili niya? Yung minultiply mo ng dalawang beses para makuha yung 4. That will be 2. So, yung square root ng 4, it will be 2. Now, anong kinalaman ng mga prime numbers? Sige na lang. Anong kinalaman ng mga prime numbers? Yung mga yan. Saan mo gagamitin yung mga prime numbers? So, halimbawa, for number 5, we have square root of 8. So remember na sa may index pa lang tayo ng 2. Pero yung idea, 4th cube root, 4th root, 5th root, ganito yung ginagawa. So for number 5, let's say we have the square root of 8. Now kung titignan natin dito sa mga perfect square, kung titignan natin dito, wala namang 8. So walang square root yung 8. So paano natin masisimplify yan? So what we will do is, ipa-factor natin yung 8. So ang gagawin natin, mamimili tayo dito sa prime numbers tsaka mga perfect square na pag pinag-multiply natin, makukuha natin yung 8. So anong pares ng number sa prime numbers tsaka perfect square yung kailangan natin para makuha natin yung product na 8? So dito, ang combination natin would be yung combination natin would be 4 and 2. Yung isang factor mo, makikita mo dito sa may perfect squares. Yung isang factor mo, makikita mo dito sa mga prime numbers. So, you really need to memorize yung mga perfect squares pa mga prime numbers. Even yung mga numbers na may exponent na 3, exponent na 4, exponent na 5. Well, most of the time, hanggang exponent lang naman tayo na 5. Pero this is the idea. So what you will do kung hindi siya perfect square, ipa-factor mo siya. So ang gagamitin mong factors, isa dito sa mga perfect square, at saka isa dito sa mga prime numbers. So yung 4 is a perfect square, yung 2 is a prime number. Next is, para mas mapadali, paghiwalayin mo yung 4 at saka yung 2. 4 times 2. And then on that format, makikita mo, yung 4, square root of 4 is a perfect square. Tama? Kasi dito ako kuha ng isa pang factor. So yung 4, pwede mo siyang kuhanan ng square root. So ano yung square root ng 4? This will be 2. And then since wala ng square root yung 2, saka wala na siyang factor kasi prime number yan, pwede mo na siyang i-copy. And then this will be your final answer. Yung mga prime numbers, usually kinakopy mo lang yung kinukuha naman ng square root o cube root or fourth root, yung mga perfect square, mga perfect cube. Ganyan. Number 6, let's say square root of 20. Halimbawa, square root of 20. So ano kaya pwede natin gamitin factors para sa 20? Ano pwede combination? Isang number dito sa prime numbers, isang number dito sa mga perfect square. So ang gagamitin natin would be yung 5 times 4. Kasi wala nang ibang pwedeng gamitin maliban sa 5 times 4. So yung factors na gagamitin natin for square root of 20 is 4 yung perfect square at saka yung 5 yung prime number. So 4 times 5, you have 20. Then pag-iwalayin mo lang. Next is, kukunin mo ngayon yung square root ng 4, which is 2. And then you'll just copy yung prime number. And then yun ang final answer. So, sa mga square root, kumukuha ka lang ng pares dito sa prime numbers at saka dito sa mga perfect square. Kung cube root, hahanap ka doon sa perfect cubes. Another. Let's say number 7, square root of 75. So square root of 75. Obviously, hindi siya perfect square. Hindi mo siya nakikita dito as perfect square. So kailangan i-factor yung 75. Isang number yung factor, isang numbers dito sa prime number, isang number dito sa perfect square. So anong number yung gagamitin natin para makuha yung product na 75? So I will use yung 3 times 25. Isang prime number, isang perfect square. So ito yung mga perfect square natin, ito yung mga prime numbers. Isang prime number, isang perfect square. So you have 25 times 3. 25 times 3, you have 75. Yung 25, nakuha ko dito sa perfect square. Yung 3, nakuha ko dito sa prime numbers. So, paghiwalayin natin. So, you have 25 times 3. So, yung 25, meron siyang square root. So, dito yung square root ng 25, we get 5. And then, copy lang yung prime number. Basically, ganyan ang ginagawa. Another. Number 8, square root of 27. So, for square root of 27, obviously, hindi siya perfect square dito. So, hindi mo siya directly simplify. Kailangan mo ng combination ng prime number at saka ng perfect square. So, anong factors ang gagamitin natin para ma-simplify natin yung square root of 27? Yung factors na gagamitin natin, isang number sa prime number, isang number sa perfect square. Anong combination ang gagamitin para makuha yung 27? So, in this case, ang gagamitin natin is yung 9 at saka yung 3. 9 times 3. Or the same, 9 times 3 is 27. But in this case, yung 9, meron siyang square root. Yung 9 is a perfect square. So, pinaghiwalay-wala yung 9 at 3. So, kung perfect square siya, pwede mo siyang kuha ng square root. So, yung square root ng 9 is 3. And then yung prime number yung square root of 3, you'll just copy. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, yung prime number, parati mo lang kinakopy. So, now you have 3 square root of 3. So, yung simplification ng square root of 27. Now, para sa mga cube, mga perfect cube, halimbawa, number 9. Nagagawin lang tayo ng mas mababang number. Let's say, perfect cubes. Yung exponent nila is 3. 1 raised to 3. 2 raised to 3. 3 raised to 3. 4 raised to 3. 5 raised to 3. And so on. So this is 1. This is 8. This is 27. This is 64. This is 155. So, mga perfect cubes is 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 3 times 3 times 3, 27, 4 times 4 times 4, 64, 5 times 5 times 5, 125. So, kapag kinuha mo yung cube root ng 1, ano yung number na multiply ng 3 beses para makuha yung 1? It is 1. Cube root of 8. Ano yung number na pag multiply mo ng 3 beses, makukuha mo yun? 8. Well, it is 2 raised to 3. Ito yung 2 raised to 3 is 8. So, 2 yung number na multiply mo ng 3 beses para makuha yung 8. So, this is 2. Cube root ng 27. Ano yung number na multiply mo ng 3 beses para makuha yung 27? It will be 3. Kasi 3 times 3 times 3 will get 27. So, dito sa mga perfect square, nag-multiply ka lang ng 2 beses. Dito sa perfect cube, nag-multiply ka ng 3 beses. So, kapag 4th root, nag-multiply ka ng 4 na beses. Kapag 5th root, nag-multiply ka ng 5 beses. So, dito nag-multiply lang ako ng 3 beses. 4 times 4 times 4, 64. So, cube root of 64, ano yung number na multiply ko ng 3 beses para makuha yung 64? It will be 4. Cube root of 125. Ano yung number na multiply ko ng 3 beses para makuha yung 125? It will be 5. Kasi 5 times 5 times 5, 125. So yung cube root ng 125 is 5. So ganyan yung idea para malaman na yung gagawin. Pero most of the time, nandyan lang tayo sa square root at cube root. Sa cube root, sa 4th root, nag-multiply ka naman ng 4 na beses. Halimbawa, pwede na siguro alisin ito. Okay, next. So, let's say meron tayong listahan ng mga perfect square. Yung mga perfect square, perfect cube, and then yung mga perfect numbers na may exponent na 4, and then yung mga prime numbers. So, magbibigay tayo ng mga example para doon sa tatlong columns para malaman nyo yung pinagkaiba nila. So, let's say for first column, yung perfect square, square root of 9, that will be 3. Cube root of 27, that will be 3. Fourth root of 81, that will be also 3. So, ano pinagkaiba ng tatlong yan? So, dun sa number 1, square root of 9, nag-iisip ka ng number na minultiply mo ng 2 beses. For number 2, nag-iisip ka ng number na imumultiply mo ng 3 beses. For number 3, mag-iisip ka ng number na imumultiply mo ng 4 na beses para makuha yung mga radicals nila. So, which means, halimbawa, for number 4, let's say 5th root, mag-iisip ka ng number na pag minultiply mo ng 3 beses, makukuha mo yung radical. 2, 4, 3. This will give you 3. So, pag yung 3, minultiply mo ng 5 beses, makukuha mo yung 243. Kapag yung number 3, minultiply mo ng 4 na beses, makukuha mo yung 81. Kapag ito, minultiply mo ng 3 beses, makukuha mo yung 27. Pag ito, minultiply mo ng 2 beses, makukuha mo yung 9. So, yun yung pinagkaiba nila, depende dun sa mga indices. So, for square root, 2 beses ka dapat nag-multiply para makuha yung radical. For cube root, 3 beses ka nag-multiply para makuha mo yung radical na 27. For fourth root, nag-multiply ka ng 4 na beses para makuha yung 81. For fifth root, nag-multiply ka ng 5 beses para makuha yung 243. And kapag sixth root, nag-multiply ka ng 6 na beses. For seventh root, nag-multiply ka ng 7 beses para makuha yung radical. So, titignan mo din yung mga indices para malaman mo kung ilang beses ka nag-multiply para makuha mo yung radical. But for now, we will concentrate dito sa may perfect square sa cube at saka dito sa may fourth root. So, halimbawa, again, this is let's say number 1 ulit muna. Dito tayo sa may square root. So, hindi na natin gagamitin yung mga perfect square kasi alam na natin yung sagot eh. It is square root ng 1, 1, square root ng 4, 2, square root ng 9, 3, square root ng 16, 4, square root ng 25, 5. Mga perfect square na kasi yan alam natin yung answer. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon is i-combine natin yung mga perfect square dito sa prime numbers. So, halimbawa, meron tayong square root of 242. So, paano ko pa isisimplify yung 242? Hindi naman siya perfect square. So, ang gagawin ko, hahanap ako dito sa prime numbers tsaka mga perfect square na ipag-multiply ko para makuha yung 242. So, in this case, yung numbers na gagamitin kong factors para sa 242 are 121 times 2. Yung 121 nakuha ko dito sa perfect square, nandito siya. And then yung 2 nakuha ko dito sa prime numbers, nandito siya. So, technically, ang gagawin mo, kukuha ka ng isang number sa prime numbers, kukuha ka ng isang number sa mga perfect square para makuha mo yung product na 242. Kapag yung index mo 2, dito ka kukuha. Kapag yung index mo 3, halimbawa 3, dito ka kukuha sa mga perfect cube. Kapag 4 yung index mo, mamimili ka naman dito. So, ito, tsaka ito yung pagkakareason mo. So, depende sa index sa kukuha ng factors. So, for this example, since yung index mo is 2, pag hindi nakalagay 2, kukuha ka ng factor dito sa mga perfect square. Dito tsaka dito sa prime numbers. Well, dito ka lang naman pumapares. It's either this column or this or this column or this column. Parating may prime number. So dito you have square root of 121 times 2, which is the same with 242. And then 121 at saka yung 2, pwede ko na pag-iwalay 121 times square root of 2. Which is under the laws of radicals, pwede mo i-factor, pwede mo pag-iwalay. Now, yung square root of 21, alam natin na perfect square yung 121 and yung square root ng 121, it will be 11. Now, square root of 2, wala siyang square root, and then wala natin siyang factors na maliban sa sarili niya, and 1. So, you'll just copy. Kapag prime number, you'll just copy. So, yung square root ng 242 is 11 square root of 2. Ito na yung simplified form niya. Another number, let's say, square root of 72. 72. So, since yung index natin yung 2, maghahanap tayo dito ng numbers na ipaparas natin sa prime number. So, anong number kaya yung pwedeng gamitin as factors ng 72? Dapat yung isa, perfect square, yung isa prime number. So in this case, ang gagamitin ko is 36 at saka 2. Kasi 36 times 2, you have 72. So paano mo kayo nalalaman yan? Well, obviously, di mo naman pwede gamitin yung 81, masyado na mataas to sa 72. Di mo naman pwede gamitin yung 64. Kasi yung prime number na pinakababa is 2. So kung dodoblihin mo yung 64, lagpas ka ng 100. So kung hahanap ka, since yung pinakababang number mo is 2, hahanap ka agad ng number na pag dinoble mo, malapit doon sa number na 72. Hindi naman pwedeng 9, kasi pag dinoble mo yung 9, 18 lang. So yung pinakamalapit na number na magagamit mo para makuha yung 72 is yung 36. Pag dinoble mo kasi yan, makukuha mo na yung 72. So, again, pag hiwalay mo yung 36 at saka yung 2, you have 36 times 2, 36, square root of 36 times square root of 32. And then yung square root of 36, since perfect square yan, nakukuha mo yung exact answer. Ano yung square root ng 36? Square root of 36 is 6. And then yung prime number na to, you just copy. Ganyan. So yung simplified form ng square root of 72 is 6 square root of 2. Another example, let's say number 3. Number 3, square root of 300. So square root of 300. Ano pa yung factors na pwede kong gamitin? So yung index mo is 2. Gagamit ka ng isang number sa prime numbers, gagamit ka ng isang number dito sa mga perfect square. So anong numbers yung pwede kong pagsamahin o pwede kong gamitin? Yung combination. So for number 3, ang gagamitin ko yung 100 at saka yung 3. So you have 100 times 3. This is the same with 300, tama? So, paghihiwalay ko yung 100 at saka yung 3. So square root ng 100, since perfect square, ano yung square root ng 100? Ano yung number na pag minultiply mo ng dalawang beses, makukuha mo yung 100. That is 10. And then yung prime number na 3, you'll just copy. So you have 10 square root of 3. So, probably clear na yung example dyan. Let's say, magbigay pa tayo ng isa pang example. 99. Ano yung factors na pwede ko gamitin sa 99? Yung isa magagaling dito sa prime numbers, yung isa magagaling dito sa mga perfect square. Dito sa perfect square kasi index natin 2. Now for 99, ang gagamitin kong factors are yung 9 9 times 11. Tama? Yung isa, perfect square. Yung isa, prime numbers. So you have 9 times 11, that is 99. Now, pwede ko na paghiwalayin. You have 9 times square root of 11. So square root of 9 times square root of 11. So now we all know yung square root of 9 is 3. Kasi 3 times 3, you get 9. So 3 yung multiply mo ng dalawang beses para makuha yung 9. So yung square root of 9 nanggaling sa 3. And then yung prime number ng 11, we'll just copy. Again, so kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga prime numbers, kinakopy mo lang sila. So square root of 99, pag simplify is 3 square root of 11. So, gamit tayo ng example dito naman sa mga perfect cube. Number, let's number 5. So let's say we have cube root of 8. So cube root of 8, since perfect cube yan, nandito siya, ano yung number na minultiply mo ng 3 beses para makuha yung 8? Ano yung number na minultiply mo ng 3 beses para makuha yung 8? And that is 2. Kasi 2 times 2 times 2, makukuha mo yung 8. So yun ang hinahanap mo, ano yung number na minultiply mo ng 3 beses para makuha mo yung radical sa loob. For number 6, let's say 3 square root of 24. So yung 24, wala naman dito sa perfect cube. Tama? So hindi mo siya masisimplify agad. So ano gagawin mo para masimplify mo yung cube root ng 24? So same with pagkuha ng square root, kukuha ka ng factors dito sa mga perfect cube at saka prime numbers. Pag minultiply mo, makukuha mo yung 24. So ano yung number na pag minultiply mo, makukuha mo yung 24 dito sa perfect cube at saka prime. So again, dito na tayo kukuha ng factors sa may perfect cube. Kasi yung index natin 3 na. So dito ka na mamimili. So now you have cube root of what numbers yung dito at saka ipapares mo dito. So it will be 8 times 3. 8 times 3, you get 24. So dito ka na kumukuha. Now, pwede ko nang pag-iwalayin yung cube root ng 8 times 3. So yung cube root ng 8, which is isa siyang perfect cube root, perfect cube. So yung cube root ng 8 is 2. And then yung prime number na 3, you just copy. Wala ka namang number na pwede i-multiply na 3 beses para makuha yung 3. Anong number yung i-multiply ng 3 beses para makuha yung 3? So walang number na pwede. So kapag yung index mo 3, namimili ka sa mga perfect cube. Kapag yung index mo 2, namimili ka sa mga perfect square. Another, number 7. Number 7, let's say 40. Cube root ng 40. So obviously, wala kang perfect cube dito. So anong gagawin natin? Ipa-factor natin yun yung 40. So yung factors, nung gagaling dito sa mga perfect cube at saka prime number. So anong number yung i-combine ko para makuha ko yung 40? So since yung index natin is 3, dito ako namili. So ang gagamitin ko is yung 8 at saka yung 5. 5 times 8. We have 40. So this is 8 times 5. This is still 40. And then pag-iwalayin ko na. 8 times, and then yung simplify, cube root ng 8, that is 2. Yung prime number, you'll just copy. Ganyan. For number 8, dito tayo sa fourth root. Fourth root of 32. Fourth root ng 32. So kung fourth root yan, dito tayo iwilit. Hanap tayo number na minultiply ng 4 na beses. Tapos multiply natin dito sa prime number. So yung factors na gagamitin natin for 32 is yung 16 at saka yung 2. 16 times 2. Bakit 16? Kasi perfect cube, perfect fourth root yung 16. Nandito siya. So yung 16, minultiply ko ng 4 na beses. Ano yung number na minultiply ko ng 4 na beses para makuha yung 16? So, pag-himalayin muna natin. Ano yung number na minultiply ng 4 na beses para makuha yung 16? So that number is 2. And then, fourth root of 2, you'll just copy yung prime number. Yeah. So basically, ganyan lang ang idea. Naghahanap ka lang ng factors dito sa mga perfect square. Kapag index mo 2, sa perfect cube, kapag yung index mo 3, ang numbers na may exponent ng 4 dito sa mga index na may 4. Ganon din ang gagawin kapag 5, kapag 6 yung mga indices. Another example, number 9. Cube root of 250, fourth root of 160. So numbers 9, 10, 11, magkakaiba ng indices. So for number 9, yung index mo is 2. Number 10, yung index mo is 3. Number 11, index mo is 4. So for number 9, square root ng 98. So hindi naman perfect square root 98, so kailangan natin i-factor yan. So ano yung factor ng 98 na gagamitin natin? It will be 49 times 2. Isang perfect square, isang prime number. So, kukunin lang natin yung square root ng 49. Square root ng 49. Square root ng 49, that is 7. Yung prime number, you'll just copy. Cube root ng 250. So, ano yung factors ng 250 na pwede natin gamitin? So, dito tayo titingin. Since index natin is 3. So, titingin tayo dito sa mga perfect cube. So, ang gagamitin natin will be yung 125 times 2. Tama? 125 times 2, that's 250. So yung 125 dito ko naman kinuha sa mga perfect cube. Kasi yung index natin 3 na. So perfect cube na yan, pag-iwalayin natin. And then ano yung cube root ng 125? Yung cube root ng 125 would be 5. And then copy yung prime number. Ganyan. Next is fourth root of 162. So since yung index natin is 4, dito tayo titingin sa mga perfect na may perfect fourth root o yung exponentialized 4 o 4 na beses sila minultiply. So 162, ipapares ko dito sa mga prime numbers. So ang gagamitin ko would be yung 81. 81 times 2. 81 times 2 is 162. Yung 81 dito ko kinuha. You have 81 sa column ng may fourth exponent o may fourth power. Next, paghiwalay lang natin. And then, ano yung fourth root of 81? Ano yung number na multiply ng 4 na beses para makuha yung 81? That is 3. Copy yung prime number. So, fourth root of 162 is 3, fourth root of 2. So, kung mapapansin nyo, again, mga prime numbers, kinakopy lang sila. Naghahanap ka lang ng factors sa mga perfect square, perfect cube, and then for this column, na i-multiply mo sa mga prime numbers para makuha mo yung radical. Tapos yung gagamitin mo yung factors, yung combination ng dalawang numbers. Isang number sa mga perfect numbers, isang number para sa mga prime. Pag pinag-combine mo, kukuha mo yung radical. So, ganyan lang yung first, yung easy concept ng pagsisimplify ng radical expression. Now, dun tayo sa may variable. Paano kung variable yung sinisimplify? Now, for the following example, what if sinisimplify naman natin yung radical expression ng mga variable as radical? So, for number 1, we have the square root of x raised to 2. Number 2, we have the square root of m raised to 4. Next is the square root of y raised to 8, square root of x raised to 10, square root of z raised to 24, cube root of x raised to 15, cube root of m raised to 21, cube root of m raised to 18, fourth root of x raised to 20, fifth root of x raised to 15, y raised to 30. So, paano sila simplify yan? So, yung madaling paraan na gagawin dyan is identify mo yung index o yung mga indices ng numbers 1 hanggang 10. So, for number 1, index mo is 2. So, for number 2, 2. Number 3, index mo is 2. Number 4 and 5, yung index mo is 2. For number 6, 7, and 8, yung mga indices mo is 3. For number 9, yung index mo is 4. Yung number 10, index mo is 5. So, for number 1, ang gagawin mo lang is i-multiply o i-divide mo lang yung exponent ng variable mo dito sa index. So, pag divide mo dito sa may index yung exponent mo for number 1, 2 divided by 2, we all know this is 2. Kapag hindi nakalagay yung index mo is 2. 2 divided by 2, you have 1. So, copy yung base na radical natin and then yung quotient na 1. So, 2 divided by 2, you have 1. Or, this is simply just x. Kapag 1 na exponent, kahit mo na ilagay. Next, copy yung radical. 4 divided by 2, you have 2. Wala na yung radical symbol kasi full number yung nakuha mo. Wala kang remainder. Kapag sakto yung quotient mo, 4 divided by 2, pag sakto yung answer, wala kang remainder. Alisin mo na yung radical sign. 8 divided by 2, so this is y raised to 4. So, kung mapapansin mo, yung quotient, yung exponent na ginagamit mo ngayon. 10 divided by 2, this is x raised to 5. 24 divided by 2, this is z raised to 12. So, ganyan lang, dinidivide mo lang sa index. Paano yung number 6? 15, tapos index mo is 3. So, copy yung base. 15 divided by 3, that is 5. 21 divided by 3, that is 7. 18 divided by 3, this is 10 raised to 6. 20 divided by 4, that is x raised to 5. Now, paano yung dalawa? 15, i-divide mo sila tag-isa. 15 divided by 5, it is x raised to 3. 30 divided by 5, this is y raised to what? 6. Yan yung final answer. So, nag-divide ka lang. So, papahabain natin yung given. Let's say, meron tayong multiple variables, hindi lang same letter. Say number 11, square of a raised to 8, b raised to 4, c raised to 18. So, bawat exponent dyan, a, di-divide mo dun sa index. So, for letter a, 8 divided by 2, this is 4. For letter b, 4 divided by 2, this is 2. For letter c, 18 divided by 2, this is 9. Ganyan. For number 12, cube root halimbawa, m raised to 6, n raised to 12, p raised to 30. So, bawat exponent dun sa number 12, bawat exponent dun sa radical, i-divide mo dun sa index. So, you have para sa m, 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 12 divided by 3, this is 4. Para sa p, 30 divided by 3, that is 10. So, ganyan yung ginagawa. Now, what if, another example muna, number 13 para sa fourth row. Let's say, x raised to 12, y raised to 40, z raised to 16. So, same procedure, i-divide mo lang yung exponent ng radical dito sa index. So, para dito sa may x, 12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4, that is 3. Para sa may y, 40 divided by 4, that is 10. For letter z, 16 divided by 4, that is 4. So, ganyan ang gagawin. Now, what if for number 14, halimbawa, 5th root of x raised to 2. Paano yung 5th root of x raised to 2? Pwede mo bang divide yung 2 sa may 5? Now, kapag mas mababa na yung exponent dito sa loob kumpara doon sa index, hindi mo na siya pwedeng i-divide. Hindi mo siya pwedeng i-divide dito. Kailangan, as much as possible, yung exponent dito sa loob, mas mataas kaysa doon sa index. Dapat mas mataas yung exponent, yung value ng exponent kaysa doon sa index. Kung mas mababa, halimbawa ito 5, yung index, tapos yung exponent mo 2, mas mababang number, hindi mo na siya kaya, hindi mo na siya pwedeng i-simplify. So basically, yung answer mo dito is 5th root of x raised to 2 pa din. Kasi hindi mo na pwedeng divide to dito. Kailangan mas mataas na number 2 kaysa dito. Mas mataas or equal dito. Mas mataas or equal dito sa index. Ganyan. So, bago tayo mag-move sa susunod na simplification, i-combine natin yung numbers at saka yung letters. Now, before natin gawin yung i-combine natin yung numbers at letters, meron mo palang isa. What if hindi sakto o hindi divisible yung exponent dun sa index? Halimbawa, number 1, square root of x raised to 9. So obviously, pag dinivide mo yung 9 sa index na 2, meron kang remainder na isa. So, ang gagawin ko dito, same procedure, i-divide ko yung 9 dito sa may 2. So, x, 9 divided by 2, that is 4. Square root of, now, obviously may natirang isa, may remainder ka 1. Yung natitirang 1, may iwan siya dito sa loob ng radical symbol. Tama? 9 divided by 2, that is 4. So meron kang x raised to 4. Meron ka natitira isa, yung remainder. Yung remainder may iwan dito sa loob. So you have this. Another x raised to 13. 13 divided by 2, that is x raised to 6. Square root of ilan yung remainder? 1. So yung 1 na remainder may iwan dito sa loob. Again, yung exponent naman is just optional. Pwede mo nang huwag ilagay. Pero for the sake of explanation, lagay muna natin. So merong remainder. Yung remainder may iwan dito sa loob. X raised to 8. So yung 8, divide natin sa 3. 8 divided by 3, that is 2. So you have x raised to 2. And then may remainder ka. Ilan yung remainder natin sa x raised to 8? Divided by 3. So yung remainder, which is 2, may iwan dun sa loob. So ito, hindi mo na pwedeng i-divide dito kasi mas mababang number na. Tulad ng sabi ko before, pag mas mababa ng number dito sa loob ng radical sign, hindi mo na siya pwedeng i-divide dito sa index. So, naiwan siya dyan sa loob. Fourth root of x raised to 13. Let's say 13 or 15. 15. Now, paano yung fourth root of x raised to 15? So again, i-divide mo. 15 divided by 4. So this is x raised to 3. Tama? Kasya yung kasya yung tatlong 4 dito sa 15. Pero may remainder ka. Ilan yung remainder? Yung remainder mo is 3. 15 divided by 4 is 3, remainder 3. So yung remainder may iwan dito sa loob ng radical sign. And then yung quotient na 3 siya yung may ilalabas mo. So ganyan yung ginagawa kapag hindi divisible yung exponent dito sa index. May remainder. Yung remainder may iwan sa loob ng radical sign. Halimbawa, fifth root of m raised to 21. Yan. So, i-divide mo yung 21 doon sa 5 na index. So, you have m raised to 4. Fifth root of, ilan yung natira? Ilan yung remainder natin pag i-divide mo yung 21 sa 5? May remainder kang 1. So, yung 1 na remainder, may 1 dito sa loob. So, ito yung remainder mo na 1, m raised to 1. And then, ito yung quotient mo na 4. Another 6th root of x raised to 20. 6th root of x raised to 20. So, yung 20 di-divide mo sa 6. So, 20 divided by 6, that is 3. 6th root of x, ilan yung remainder? Yung remainder natin would be 2. So, ganyan na yung ginagawa. Yung quotient, siya yung magiging exponent ng radicand mo sa labas. Tawagin na natin siya ng radicand, variable mo dito sa labas. Yung remainder, may iwan dito sa loob, siya yung exponent ng radicand mo nun. Yan. Though, another simplification, tulad nung sabi ko kanina, kung mas mababa na yung exponent dito sa may radical, hindi mo na siya pwede i-divide dito sa may index. Pero, in this case, please take note of this, pwede pa actually simplify yung 6th root of x raised to 2. Kasi, 6 root of x raised to 2, pwede mo siyang isulat as x raised to 2 over 6. This part and this part parehas lang. Ito yung radical form, ito yung rational form. Now, kung mapapansin mo, if x raised to 2 over 6, pwede mo kunin yung lowest term. This is equal to 1/3. So now you have x raised to 1/3. Now, yung 1/3, ibabalik mo ulit sa radical form. So now we have x raised to 3 cube root of x raised to 1 or just simply x. Yan yung final na simplification niya. Please do take note of this part. Kasi malamang madalas yung di gagawin yan. Kung mapapansin natin pag sinabing simplify, mas mababa na yung mga numbers. So, yung 6 root x raised to 2 of x raised to 2, yung 6 root mo, yung index mo na 6, mas napababa mo ng 3. Which is mas simple. Pag mas mababa ng number, mas maganda. So now we can move on with simplifying yung combination of numbers at saka ng mga variable. So magbigay tayo ngayon ng combination ng numbers at saka yung mga variable. So let's say, doon muna tayo sa mga exact yung answers. 36 m raised to 6. So for number 1, the square root of 36m raised to 6. So obviously, alam natin yung square root ng 36. Square root of 36 is just 6. And then yung exponent ng m, divide natin sa index na 2. So 6 divided by 2, we have m raised to 3. Number 2, square root of 81. N raised to 18, a raised to 12. So, square root ng 81, ano yung number na pag multiply ng dalawang beses, makukuha mo 81. That is 9. And then, n raised to 18. 18 divide natin sa 2. 18 divided by 2. N raised to 9. 12 divided by 2. P raised to 6. Ganyan. Another, 3. Let's say square root of 25 x raised to 2, y raised to 4, z raised to 20. So square root ng 25 is just 5. X raised to 2 divided by 2, that is 1. X raised to 4 divided by 2, y raised to 2. Z raised to 20 divided by 2, that is z raised to 10. Again, yung 1 doon, pwede mo maglagay. Cube root, let's say number 4. Cube root ng 27. M raised to 9, N raised to 12, P raised to 15. So, ano yung cube root ng 27? Ano yung number na multiply mo ng 3 beses para makuha yung 27? And that is 3. M raised to 9, 9 divided by 3. That is M raised to 3. N raised to 12, 12 divided by 3. That is N raised to 4. P raised to 15, 15 divided by 3, that is P raised to 15. P raised to 5. So, ganyan lang basically yung simplifying radical expressions, yung madali. Number 4. Number 5. Gagamit na tayo ng prime number. Square root of 500. M raised to 18. So, doon sa square root of 500 m raised to 18, yung 500 hindi siya perfect square, so kailangan natin yung factor. So, yung factors nito, will be 100 times 5. That will give 500. So alam naman natin yung square root ng 100 is 10. So you have 10, and then m raised to 18, 18 divided by 2, that is m raised to 9. And then yung 5, anong gagawin sa 5? So yung 5 may iwan to sa loob ng radical sign. So you have this 5. So 10m raised to 9 square root of 5. So kung di mo siya po pwedeng kuha ng square root, may iwan sila doon sa loob ng radical sign. Another. Number 6. 128 x raised to 10 y raised to 40. So 128, anong factors ang gagamitin natin na perfect square? Kasi yung index natin 2. So dapat perfect square yung factor na gagamitin natin o isang factor sa gagamitin natin. So ang gagamitin natin factors will be 64 times 2 x raised to 10 y raised to 40. So kukunin natin yung square root ng 64. 64 times 2, 128, tama? So 64 is 8. X raised to 10, 10 divided by 2, that is x raised to 5. Y raised to 40, 40 divided by 2, this is y raised to 20. Anong may iwan dito sa loob ng radical sign? Yung hindi mo pwedeng i-simplify. Yung hindi mo na-simplify, which is yung 2. So may iwan sa loob ng radical sign ng 2. Yung hindi mo masisimplify at saka yung mga remainder may iwan sila sa loob ng radical symbol. Next. Now, what if may remainder? Number 7. So let's say number 7 square root of, again, square root muna yung ginagamit natin bago sa mga cube root. Square root of 12 m raised to 15. Yan. So isang hindi perfect square, tapos isa na alam natin sigurado may remainder. So 12, ano yung factors na gagamitin para sa 12? It will be 6 tsaka 2 or 4 tsaka 3. Isang perfect square, isang prime number. M raised to 15. So yung 4, alam natin may perfect square, that is 2. M raised to 15, 15 divided by 2. That is 7. So m raised to 7. Now may iwan dito sa loob. Ang may iwan, yung 3. At saka yung remainder, which is yung 1. 15 divided by 2 is 7. Yung remainder, 1. So yung 7, pwede mo siyang ilabas dito sa may radical sign. Yung remainder, may iwan dito sa loob. So yung 1, pwede mo nang 1 ilagay kung gusto mo. Pwede nang iwan dito pag 1. Next, number 8. Cube root of 81 and raised to 11 and raised to 17. Yan. So, alam naman natin walang perfect cube root yung 81, so ipa-factor natin yan. So, this is cube root of 27 times 3, n raised to 11, n raised to 17. So we all know na yung perfect cube root yung 27. Ano yung cube root ng 27? That is 3. And then divide this dito sa 3. Yung exponent divide natin sa index. 11 divided by 3. That is n raised to 3. Yung remainder na iwan sa loob. And then 17 divided by 3. That is n raised to 5. So yung may iwan sa loob is yung 3. Huwag natin kalimutan. May iwan sa loob 3. And then yung remainder sa 11 divided by 3. That is n raised to 2. And then yung remainder sa 17 divided by 3. N raised to 2. So nandito yung quotient, nandito yung remainder. Nandito yung quotient, nandito yung remainder. So basically, ganyan lang ginagawa dyan. Pag nagsisimplify ka ng radical expression. So yung next lesson natin is what if nag-rationalize tayo or meron kang radical expression dun sa may denominator. So yan madaling part pa yan kasi dali lang mag-factor at mag-divide. So yung next lesson natin will be rationalizing yung denominator ng isang radical expression.